You know, when I was thinking about coming to H3, I've been heavy all my life, and it was really a very personal decision. It wasn't any one thing that happened. It was kind of a combination of things that led me to come here. But at the end of the day, when I wanted to come, it was really about losing weight. But when I left, it was about so much more. It was about changing the way I approached my life, from exercise to sort of my mind, my experience, and just the way that I ate differently. It was much more than just losing weight. It was about changing the way I led my life. I've had a great success, and I'm still on my journey. I've lost 60 pounds, and I attribute a large part of it to H3I. And there are several things that I learned along the way. The first and most important was to get my mind in the right place. And one of the things that Bob had said early on was, what are you willing to do to make this happen? And really, at the end of the day, I had to decide. I just simply had to decide that I was willing to do certain things. And everybody, that moment when you make that decision is a very big moment. You may not know it at the time it's happening, but it's a big moment, because when you decide, obstacles melt away, and obstacles become opportunities where you just have to be creative and come up with different ways. So that was the first thing, was that I had to align my mind. The second thing that I learned was tracking, keeping track of what I was eating, what I was doing fitness-wise, and in fact what I was feeling. So I was writing a lot of things down, and it gave me a sense of accountability. I could look back from time to time. I've been on this journey a year and a half, and so having that tracking around has really helped me to stay on my journey. The third thing was the fitness. I started, and I was 45 years old and hadn't exercised at all. And so, being here, I found out that I actually could exercise a lot, right? And so I met a woman when I was here the first time, and she had just lost 60 pounds. And I said, how did you do it? She said, I've walked for the whole year, 6 days a week, an hour a day. So then again, it's that, what are you willing to do? So I said, okay, I got to find an hour a day to just walk. And I started with just walking. And it doesn't have to be a consecutive hour. It can be, like, one of the things I learned here was it could be the thermal walks, 20 minutes, 3 times a day. I got to find the hour. So what are you willing to do? So I found the hour every single day. And sometimes at the end of the day, I found another hour because I was real excited about it. The fourth thing probably is just sort of the group support, and the group support was very powerful for me. While I was here, I stayed in touch with some of the people. The second time I came back with somebody I'd met the first time, and so I looked for group support. I stayed connected on the internet with H3I, but more importantly, I joined Weight Watchers, and it was less about the food program for me than about the group support and being part of other people that are going through the same thing, and the ebb and flow of some of the struggles. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to the mind, and the most powerful lesson I learned here was that it's my mind. I mean, your mind controls what goes in your mouth. Your mind controls if you get up in the morning to work out. Your mind controls how you're feeling. And so I just kept trying to realign my mind at the end of the day, and that was just the critical lesson for me. Losing 60 pounds has changed my life in ways that I imagined and in ways that I hadn't imagined. Things I can do now, little things like I can go up a flight of stairs and not get winded, and isn't that great? I can cross my legs, I was in plus size clothes for 15 years, and now I'm not. Those are the things that I expected to happen. The things I didn't expect to happen were things like, have a 7-year-old, and I didn't realize I was on the sidelines in my participation with him. I'd watch him on the trampoline instead of getting on, and now I get on and jump with him. I'm his soccer coach. I never imagined I'd be his soccer coach, you know. 60 pounds ago I wouldn't even have given it a try, and now I have the confidence to try new things. You know, my business, I feel like I'm better. I feel like, you know, life is about making a plan and then just executing ruthlessly on the plan, step by step. It's you've got to have a big vision and then go slowly, day by day. You know, one of the things I learned when I was here is half days. Take every day as a half day. So if the first half of the day doesn't work out so well, start over on the second half of the day, as opposed to saying, oh, the whole day's shot. And so little lessons like that have carried me through those times. And it's not always an easy day. Some days are harder than others. Things come at you from all over the place, and you just, you know, you find the momentum to keep going. You know, one of the things I look for is a weekly inspiration, right? So I'm looking for my weekly inspiration. Sometimes it's a weight-related inspiration, and sometimes it's a moment in time where I'm able to run a race with my son, and that's inspiration that carries me for the week. Because, you know, at the beginning you're very motivated, but as you go through it further and further, all of these little lessons that you learn, you have to constantly be pulling at them to keep you going, to keep you on track as you go forward. So it's not any one thing. It just, you know, the power of this place is all the things that you pull in when things are great, and when things are a little bit more, you know, you're struggling a little bit more, and you got to pull from all of those lessons to keep going. You know, one of the things I did for myself at the start was I wrote a dream pact. And my dream pact is a list of 10 things. And there are small things and big things. The big things are like live a longer life, live a higher quality life, delay diabetes as much as possible through this. Some of the smaller things I mentioned before, being able to go up a flight of stairs and not get winded, being able to cross my legs, get into a size 10, you know. So there were all sorts of things on my dream pact, but I wrote it down and I've posted it in multiple places, on my computer, on my bulletin board, you know, in my night drawer. At night I kind of look at it sometimes. And, you know, in any given day when I'm looking for an inspiration to keep me going, I think about my dream pact and I pull different things from it. You know, they often talk about setting goals, and a lot of people talk about one goal, but I need a lot of goals because at any one time one might not speak to me as powerfully as, say, another one. So I carry my dream pact with me. I have strategies and tactics to make it happen, but at the end of the day, it's about setting goals and writing it down and ruthlessly executing on that, you know, for the benefit of your future, of your life.